I don't know what this stuff would do, but I'll tell you, it was pretty tasty chocolate. I can't tell you, if this would
Mm-hmm.
work well in a mead, but it made me curious. If I
Yeah.
just if I just flung it in there, what would happen?
I'll have to look that up, and maybe I could tell you shortly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I used cocoa powder. I used the Camino brand when I did my
Mm-hmm.
chocolate pear, and I actually found the flavor was quite nice. The only thing I discovered with it was that I did have to add some sweetness back into it, or the bitterness was just it didn't taste like chocolate just because it was too bitter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the stuff
So
I
do you
was
think you
using
could have
anyways
used
needed.
less, and that would have helped it, or no?
No, I think it just needed that batch needed a little
Just
bit
needed
of
some
residual sweetness, and I'm
Right.
gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can bring some with me to Mazer Cup if I can never get a hold of my travel agent.
Yeah, nice.
It's been busy rescheduling due to freezing rain.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I know you can ship things, but I don't know.
Oh no,
Why
I'm just
shipping
gonna bring.
something from?
No, I'm just gonna
Right.
bring it with me on the plane in the box that I brought home with me last time.
Yeah.
Just have that be my
I don't know
package
if your
that I'm
guys'
shipping.
shipping is just incredibly expensive, even with inside Canada. But I know when you ship something, and I learned this when I sent you the Go Firm and the Fermate O.
Mm.
It's crazy expensive to ship something from Denver to Ottawa. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? That's a mistake. Double check your stuff. He says, no,
Well,
that's what it is. I'm like, holy
yeah,
cow.
that's
Wow.
why when I wanted to take stuff home with me from the Mazer Cup, I just checked it in on the plane. It was actually a lot
Right.
cheaper.
Mhm.
It cost me $30
Hello.
American to put it on the plane.
Hi,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff.
Hi. What are you putting on planes?
Is this Chris or Jeff?
This is Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Jeff.
I think I got Jeff too. Great, I got both you guys. Chris Kuzme, meet Jeff Herbert, owner of Superstition Meadery. Jeff Herbert,
Awesome.
meet Chris Kuzme, who is heading up the New York Fermentation Festival.
Hi, Jeff.
Oh,
How you
awesome.
doing,
Hey,
man?
nice to meet you.
Yeah, and welcome to Got Meat Live, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I was having fun with Skype trying to get you guys in. The new version kind of sucks.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we finally got you here though. We were just talking about making mead with when you're feeling lazy and you just go buy that frozen fruit from Costco. And I had found a bag that my son-in-law bought that was the triple fruit like they have at Costco. Only it had cocoa nibs in it. We were trying to decide if that would work or not.
Oh, interesting.
I bet it would. I used to do that, especially back in the homebrewing days. And, I think there's nothing wrong with using frozen fruit. As a matter of fact, they say, like, of course, you guys know that it breaks down the cell walls and allows you to get even more flavor than using fresh fruit. So we've even used liquid nitrogen to freeze peaches before to try and duplicate that just
There's a
on an
thought.
experimental basis.
If only because
Yeah,
it would be
it's a lot
cool
of
when
fun.
you fling them into your bucket and they shatter into a million pieces. That would
And you
be-
just pick
It's pretty cool.
the pits out
That
afterwards.
would be pretty cool, yeah. Now we know. I mean, we all use I freeze all my fruit before I use it, and I think most of us do. But we were trying to decide if this particular one with the triple berry and the cocoa nibs would work like bag to bucket. And we were arguing the relative merits of various types of chocolate when used in a mead or a beer, and what works. So it's an interesting conundrum, and I think we've inspired Ryan to go get a bag of it, and give it a try.
I think you should.
I'll do that just to report back later. Sorry, go ahead.
That's a great idea. We started recently. We use cacao nibs a lot, and we're starting to use different, origins cacao nibs, and even toasting them. So we take, a big, aluminum cookie sheet over an open fire, like a turkey burner, like you'd use for homebrewing, and we just toast that up. And we're doing, coconut, macadamia nuts, hazelnuts. We're toasting as well, and just seeing how it works out. So we have a bunch of different. They're actually collaborations. The ones I'm thinking of. Going right now, aging on roasted, versions of all those things I just hit. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun trying new stuff. That's what it's all about for me.
Yeah, tell us the name of your brewery, Chris.
My brewery is Fifth Hammer Brewing Company, and we're about 4 months old right now. And speaking of Costco frozen fruit, I just actually, literally this last Saturday, Mary was on your show recently talking about short meads. My wife and my partner in crime, and we did a collaboration at Summer, and I got a bunch of frozen mango pulp and just dropped that into a version of her beer, which was totally fun. And yes, to sell walls and being able to maximize the flavors from these frozen fruits is definitely an element that we use a lot and have fun doing.
Nice. I'm looking forward to possibly trying those when I come up next month.
Yeah, please. Oh yeah, you're coming up at the end of the week, right?
Yeah, I'm coming up for the Fermentation Fest, which, because I know there's people out there going, Fermentation Fest? What's that?
Fermentation Fest?
Yeah, so you need to tell us what it is so that we can get all of these nice people to come and see it.
Sure. So this is for us. This is the second year running, but Fermentation Festival has happened across the United States for a few years now.
You're a little muffled, Chris.
I'm sorry. I am old. Fermentation has happened in the country sometimes over the past few years. Fermentation it's kind of a buzzword, but it's also for good reason. Mary and I host a show called Ferment About It on Heritage Radio Network, and have gotten into all sorts of fermentations from around the world, and from pickles, sauerkraut, water kefir, milk kefir, mead, short mead, wine, you name it. But we're brewers at heart from the beginning, and the Fermentation Festival celebrates all of that under one roof. So we'll have all sorts of types of different vendors and talking about how it all binds us together and how it's binded a lot of cultures together, and just the flavor, the magnitude of flavor diversity that we can get through fermentation, and the people that are doing it out there, and why foods taste great, why sometimes people claim that it's good for your health with the microbiome, but we don't adhere to that. Some people it's really it's done well for them, but just nothing but the facts. That's what we say. Mm-hmm. We are going to have a mini mead festival as part of the component in this, and we also are celebrating a lot of different home brewers. We'll have a small home brew section, about a 10,000 square foot spot. We'll have about 60 different vendors. We'll have educational programming, approximately 15 different seminars from what it is to ferment cocoa beans and coffee beans, how to make mead. We'll have you on the mead panel, which we're excited about.
I'm excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
All around the board, we're hoping to just spread awareness of what the excitement of fermentation and the fun of it, and how there's nothing to scare of. You can do it at your home safely, and the whole world of flavor makes your life taste better through home fermenting. It's great.
It does. And I'm looking at the mead list, and you've got 810 Meadworks, Bee Nectar, Enlightenment Wines, Misto Mead, Salt Point Meadery, and Melavino's going to be there too, right?
Melavino. Yeah, that's right.
Got to add
and that's just a start.
They're not on the page yet. Add them to the page.
I will. Sergio's got a lot on his plate, and didn't fully confirm it. Well, he was confirmed, but didn't send
we
me
nailed him down this afternoon. We just
Yeah.
sick Bobby on him is all we needed to do.
That's right. He's doing great stuff for me all over the place. So I'm happy to have his participation for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So how many people you figure are going to show up to this?
Last year we sold 300 tickets ahead of time, and then we had 300 people show up. And that was the first year running. So hopefully this year we can do better than that. But that was still pretty great. It was an unexpected a joyride. It was awesome, and the appreciation and press that we got from it was pretty magnificent. And this year we're doing a little bit of focus on mead, which is I think our here today, focusing on Got Mead, because it's our dream to hold a mead festival here in the city, even if it's on a smaller yard. But why not piggyback in this festival and have it be a subset if the opportunity is able to present itself like this? So we're concentrating a little bit on the mead. But it's also put together by the New York City Brewers Guild. This is the first weekend of New York City Beer Week, which is just a small part of the fermentation fun that's around.
It sounds like
it all.
Bobby was telling me there's going to be all kinds of amazing stuff there, and he was telling me about the charcuterie and the food trucks, and it sounded like an amazing time. Yeah.
We have a kids corner, and we're doing a science like a third this year, so we're getting bacteria and yeast under some microscopes, and I might take a microphone sound trigger and have some active fermentations, and we'll kind of just for the kids, like it's an all ages festival, so want to celebrate what's going on and how easy it is to do this. We had a kimchi making station last year, also for people to bring home kimchi and made on site.
I'm not sure what I think about kimchi, but I'll give it a try. my husband was like, both liking it and not liking it. I guess it just depends on where you get it.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to make it. I mean, the components is salt and Korean hot chili flakes, and then some people add oysters or like shrimp paste, and for me, when you esh into that area, that's not so much for me either. Like, so there's not just one kind of kimchi. So I encourage you to try it in, because there's plenty out there.
I'm looking forward to trying everything. I'm always up for new and interesting things. One of the scary things about coming to NYC is the food. I was telling Bobby that even though everybody walks everywhere they go there, I would still weigh 500 pounds if I lived in NYC, because I'm a foodie. and I just, oh my God, every 5 feet there's another place that I just got to try something,
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to ration yourself.
Oh, it's horrifying. It's just, oh my God. It's just like oh God.
But that's why we overprice everything. So that,
yeah.
So you can't afford
to eat everything. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And a hamburger costs you $15, and it's,
Yeah, and that's lucky.
Yeah, and that's one of the low-end ones if you go to, like, the Bowery or something.
That's without the fries, huh?
Yeah, that's totally without the fries, yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it really is. Jeff, what about you? You've been in New York City, haven't you?
Not since I was a kid. I'm long overdue.
Oh my God, really? Why don't you come out for the Fermentation Fest next month?
Yeah. That would be really cool. We have so many trips planned throughout the year. We kind of need a heads up these days, but it sounds really interesting and something that's definitely up our alley. But yeah, I would really like to visit New York City and see what's going on for all the reasons you guys are talking about. It just seems like a really cool spot to go in Maryland, and went when I was a kid, but it's been a while. But I'm looking forward to when I can make that work out.
Jeff, how are you from Meadery? And you already covered this while I was looking for phone calls, I think. But where are you at?
In Prescott, Arizona. So it looks like Prescott, but locals call it Prescott. Yeah. So we're about an hour and a half, depending on how fast you drive, northwest of Phoenix.
Yeah, and don't
say
Prescott.
So we're a small town, about 40,000 people. It's a mile-high town.
Sure.
So we've got lakes and pine trees, and it's a pretty beautiful spot to be in if you want to get away from the big city.
Right on. My dad lives in Mesa. I haven't been in a while, but I'm definitely coming out. And when I do, I'm going to visit you for sure.
Oh, yeah. Check them out, Chris. They make amazing mead.
Absolutely.
Amazing, yeah. Do you guys distribute in New York, Jeff?
We don't. So right now we've got pushing 130, 140 accounts in Arizona. We got into California in October, and we'll be sending stuff to Georgia any day now, as soon as some labels are approved for the state.
Nice.
And then we're exporting to 9 countries in a humble amount, but that's been part of our mission to reintroduce the world's oldest fermented beverage to mankind. So not just in the States, but I've always had an interest in history, religion, and mythology that led to creating Superstition Meadery. And so we've had a lot of fun getting to introduce mead to people in all different places around the world.
Oh, Bobby Slants is asking, when are you planning to get licensed in New York to distribute?
We actually had a strategic planning. I know. It's we're talking to a couple of folks, and I hate saying no. We don't want to get into a new state, work with a new distributor until we can follow through with additional orders. And right now, like a lot of folks in this industry, we're selling things almost as fast as we can get them labeled